200 years after John Locke's call for meanings to be defined and clarified, none of the self-appointed guardians of English had been able to tie it down. Words continued to change, to take on new meanings, to hide their true faces behind a mask of respectability. Here, at Locke's Old College, Christchurch, Oxford, in the 19th century, Charles Dodson, a mathematics lecturer, invented a fictional character who would have given Locke nightmares.
When I use a word, Humpty Dumpty said in rather a scornful tone, it means just what I choose it to mean, neither more nor less.
Dodson is better known by his pen name Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland. When he wrote Through the Looking Glass in 1871, he took English further than slang and into the realms of nonsense. This is the opening of Jabberwocky. "'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome wraths outgrabe." The only interpreter of this verse that Alice can find is Humpty Dumpty, who defines words just as he wants to. Locke and the language police who came after him would not have approved. It's nonsense, but intellectual nonsense, a clever game with words, quite different from the way the lower classes speak, according to an article that Dodson wrote. A word means what the speaker intends by it, he wrote, and what the hearer understands by it, and that is all. This thought may lessen the horror of some of the language used by the lower classes, which is often a mere collection of unmeaning sounds. By the end of the 19th century, attitudes to the class system and language had been tightly bound together. The upper classes spoke clearly and were intelligent leaders. The lower classes grunted and were stupid brutes.
Remember that you are a human being with a soul and the divine gift of articulate speech. That your native language is the language of Shakespeare and Milton and the Bible. And don't sit there crooning like a bilious pigeon.
The story of Shaw's play Pygmalion is well known. A professor of phonetics finds a Cockney flower girl here in Covent Garden and coaches her to speak English like the upper classes. What isn't so well known is that Shaw had a serious purpose. He thought that the general public obeyed the ruling classes because they expressed themselves so elegantly, so authoritatively. Even their bad ideas sounded convincing in upper-class English. And when the play was produced in London in 1914, there were plenty of bad ideas around. The well-spoken politicians were on course for the First World War. Shaw wanted his play to show that there was no magic in good speech. He even thought that if he could break the spell, he might prevent the war. The play caused an uproar, but not because of Shaw's ideas about class and pronunciation. He broke one of the cardinal rules of polite society at the time. He put a rude word on stage.
I must go. So pleased to have met you.
Are you walking across the park, Miss Doolittle? If so,
Walk? Not bloody likely. I am going in a taxi.
That one word, bloody, was the talk of the nation. It caused so much fuss that it erased Shaw's serious message. When the First World War broke out, Shaw could only regret how, as he put it, war can so easily be gilt with romance and heroism and the like by persons whose superficial literary and oratorical talent covers an abyss of God-forsaken folly. Two centuries previously, the Age of Enlightenment had dreamed of order and of a unified language, ending conflict. But it was the First World War that would begin the long decline of the social order and its idea that you were a better person if you spoke proper English.